Okay, hello 43. Welcome to Social Studies Online. Today I really hope that you will benefit from this video. We are going to do crunchy paper SRQ. I hope by now you would already understand specifically what to look for when we do globalization. Okay? Alright, so let's take a look at your crunchy paper. Please take out your crunchy paper as well. Now remember, when we do SRQ, there are a few parts. There is your extracts 1, okay, and you have extracts 2 and extracts 3. Now extract 1 is always the question that perhaps you can't really study about it, okay. It is always an extract that will ask you to solution, to ideas, to suggestions. Okay, so question A, which is usually the 7 marks question, is something that it is based on what you know, based on your own knowledge. Okay, so we'll go through that first. And in terms of the marking scheme, because this is 7 marks, okay, if you give one example or one answer, it is 5 to 6 marks already. You look, this is 7 marks, just giving one example, one quality, it can sometimes be one suggestion, already gets you 5 to 6 marks. So it's quite a lot of marks, so you cannot give up. Okay, if you give 2, it can go as high as 6 to 7 marks. Okay, and how do you answer? I think there are many ways of essay writing, but I think the easiest one that you have learned for social studies would be just the what, the how, which is actually the examples, and the why. And the why here relates to the link. Okay, why does the example actually answer the question? Okay, I repeat that. Why does the example answer the question? And this is always very important. Okay, what if you don't answer the link? Then your marks will always be stuck at 2 to 4 marks with no link. Okay, so I hope that is clear. Now, if we look at the B question itself, okay, this is extracts 2 and extract 3 is something that will be familiar, meaning you can or you have learned the content. You would already know some sort of knowledge. And if you look at the question is asking you about global recession that can have negative impact on individual. That is 1. It is also small and medium enterprise, which is 2. Correct? So there's 2 different factors here. Okay, and the question is a weighing question. That means you need to evaluate the question. Who do you think will be more affected by the global recession? Okay, so in terms of marks, all right, in terms of marks, if you are able to explain, for example, negative impact on individual, which is 1 paragraph, and if you're able to do again a very well explained paragraph, it's between 5 to 6 marks. Okay, if you tell me the negative aspect towards SMEs. Okay, it is the second paragraph, right? You already get 6 to 7 marks. So technically, this part, the 8th mark, goes to the conclusion. Now, it's up to you. Of course, you can try to weigh, but the idea here is we need to be smart. 7 out of 8 is actually pretty decent already. In fact, 6 out of 8 is actually quite good. Okay? And how again do you write for this kind of question? Same. The what, the how, as well as the why. Okay? And the what here is really to define what is a negative impact on individuals. Okay, give an example. The example must be a concrete example. And then the why is, how is it through this example, how will the individual, for example, be affected by global recession? Okay, as you can see, I'm trying to write to my best handwriting. I hope you are also annotating this entire thing so that you will understand. Okay? Alright, so let's go back to the content per se of extracts 1. Yu Yang Sheng, I hope I'm pronouncing correctly, is a local multinational company, okay, that specializes in traditional Chinese medicine. So you can underline and highlight this, okay? And they are specializing in herbs and brews. But this is the one that is important, the very fact that it has evolved TCM. Now TCM is of course traditional Chinese medicine. There's many kind of medicine. There's Ayurveda, there's of course your normal doctors and hospitals kind of thing, okay? What it has, however, is not only 300 retail outlets in all these countries, it also has an integrative medical center. So if you look very carefully, it has really expanded. And if I could just show to you, okay, I hope you can see it, that this is Yu Yan Sheng's website, and you can see that it is very updated. Okay, look at this, same day delivery, all these kind of things. They even have a click and collect, okay, and they even give you sort of advised, okay. But what is interesting and what is very innovative is under the everyday. Oopsie. Okay, wait. Let me just look at this. Okay, under the everyday, it has made things like herbs into capsule and bottle. You know, it even has, if you look very carefully on the right here, sort of a Singapore seal of approval. So it's really very innovative in that sense, and I thought that was quite interesting because not everyone actually likes to eat herbs, and to actually make it into a capsule form, all this shows innovation. Okay, so these are things that you need to know. Now what if in the O level you don't know this company? Okay, then if you don't know this company, what we do is we pick up details. Alright, you can see that because the role of MNC and what we know about MNCs, okay, that it has a lot of outlets, you can also see that, it is not only herbs and brews, it has went into medical centers. So all this shows innovation. All this also shows creativity. Okay. It also shows the ability of the company as an MNC. It is a risk taker. So all these are actually going to be the answers to help you. So going back to the question, in your opinion, what are the qualities that have helped the company? Okay, so the two qualities that we can see is creativity, correct? And maybe the second quality would be, we can say that they are quite risk-taking. Okay, and so this is the what. Alright, this is the what. Because the question again is asking for, in your opinion, what are the qualities that have helped the company? Okay, so in terms of creativity, what can we say about them? The very fact that they were able to innovate, right? Constantly innovate. And when they are able to innovate, what do they innovate? They innovate their products, for example. So the one that I was telling you, herbs into capsules, or even some of it is daily packed, okay, which makes packaging very accessible. It is actually very innovative because it appeals to the younger crowd. Why? They are able to consume on the go. And it is always the younger crowd that actually sort of have no time to boil these herbs. Usually it's the older generation, right? So this company is able to really innovate and able to attract more consumers. Okay. Now they have also ensured that all of these, okay, all this what and how, this is the examples, will lead to the why. Right? So why does all of this, answer back to the question, help the company remain competitive? Okay? How does it help remain competitive? Now, because of the ease of consuming herbs, okay, you are able to attract the younger consumers, and these are the younger consumers that literally have the money, correct? And they are able to be on the forefront versus their competitors. And their competitors could be really those one-off traditional TCM, correct? I mean, they are quite popular, but they don't have 300 outlets everywhere in the world. Okay, and because of this, they are able to have 300 outlets worldwide. So doesn't this show actually they are able to remain competitive? Okay, because they are able to be innovative and creative in the way they package their products. Okay, so later on, please go to their website and take a look at what else they have done. This is just one example. You need this one good example, but you can also see the website and look at it. Okay, now what else do they do to ensure that they remain competitive? So one of it is they are a risk taker. Okay, they are a risk taker. Why? Because if you look very carefully, the very fact that they are able to venture all the way to Hong Kong, Macau, China, Malaysia, even Australia, it shows that they are a risk taker. Okay, and the idea of taking risk here, when we talk about risk taking, is beyond comfort level, right? I mean, they could just open up more shops in Singapore, but they did not. They went overseas, and we all know that sometimes when we go overseas, there is a problem. There are many problems. Okay, there are many issues when we open up branches overseas. I mean, you must be very successful first to even consider that. And hence, this and the very fact that the company was so successful and they have opened up 300 branches at least. I think they could have opened up more, in fact. It shows that they are actually risky. They are taking that risk, and because of this risk, so this is now, I'm going to the why already. This is the what, okay? An example is how. Going overseas is the how. So the very fact that they are able to actually be risk-taking and they are able to open up branches everywhere, and despite having and knowing the issues and the limitations of being overseas, they continued. So how do they remain competitive? They remain competitive because they reached out to a wider consumer. And when you reached out to this wider consumer, I mean, come on, your competitors just fails. Your competitors can't compete. And that is the reason why this particular TCM is known worldwide. Okay, it has built itself a reputation. And when you build yourself a reputation, I think it only gets better. Okay? Ken? So this is the way you can frame your answers for SRQA. Okay, we're going to stop recording for a short moment. We will be back to look at 2B.